Yo, what's going on, peoples? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the CNG Chicago Bulls. What is it? Weekly review show, episode 8. G Walker, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my brother. How's it going, man? Merry Christmas and all that good stuff, man. How you doing?
Merry Christmas to everybody out there coming up. I'm doing pretty good, but I'm looking at this score, bro. What
I ain't like
happened
this. You know what? I ain't like this score, but you know what? We're gonna hit it with the intro video. We're gonna get right back to it, bro.
Oh boy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is G Walker, one half of the CNG Podcast.
And I'm CJ, the other half of the CNG Podcast.
And just like that, we are back. And you asked me about this score, man. This was like the highest score we ever allowed of all time, right?
Man, the highest score since 1982. The highest score since 1982, man, and that was against the Detroit Pistons. That was Isaiah Thomas's rookie season, I believe.
Isaiah Thomas's damn rookie season. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's insane, man. So we're gonna get into the first overlay, bro. Actually, yeah, Minnesota. As y'all see, they play Minnesota, but let's get into this overlay. The Bulls were up 16-10, man, with 6:33 left to go in the first quarter. So we thinking at this point, okay, the Bulls, putting up, doing pretty good. Defensively, they doing a little good. Defensively, offensively, they getting off to a good start. Then we got Patrick Williams. Now this was actually a slam on Luke Garza, I believe. So yeah, this was Patrick Williams, I believe, in the first quarter. And then at the end of the first quarter, this was the score. G Walker, I don't know if you saw this game as far as in the first quarter, but with the score being 34-32, did you actually think, okay, the Bulls should win this game? Because let me throw this out there. There was no Karl Anthony Towns, and there was no Rudy Gobert.
You know what, bro? You know what? The way this team has been playing all year, bro, I had no idea we'd win this game. But like you said, man, they had no Rudy Gobert, they had no Karl Anthony Towns, so you would think that our chances to win would be a little bit higher. So it wasn't. So yeah, man, it's you would think that.
Yeah, you had to think that. And then plus they didn't have they didn't have too many bigs in there, so you think the Bulls would have this in bag. But we going to halftime. Now look at this. Now the Bulls. Now you just saw the score earlier. Timberwolves had 32 points, which means the Chicago Bulls gave up 39 points in the second quarter. In the second damn quarter, 39 points. G Walker, what the hell, man?
Hey, that goes back to defense, bro. Like you got to look at the guys who's playing defense, man. And we already know who's not good at playing defense. Lack of effort. That's Zach Lavine and DeMar DeRozan. And guess who was playing this game? Anthony Ant-Man Edwards, baby MJ. So them allowing 39 points like this in a quarter, bro, that lets you know that they don't give a damn about defense, dog.
Man, something is going on. Like I said, everybody is so interested in this team scoring. They so interested in DeMar putting up 25 to 35 points a night, but we don't look at nobody's looking at the defense of this team. The defense of this team is very terrible as a team. When you give up 39 points in the second quarter after you had a 2-point lead, that's a bad sign. That is a very bad sign. Now going into the next overlay, let me show you this again. Now the score was 71 points, right? 81, 91, 101. So you mean to tell me you gave up what is that? 38 points? So you went from 39 points in the second quarter to 38 points in the damn third quarter. Come on now.
Yeah, that shit don't make no sense, man. It's just that, it's a lack of effort, man. And you got to consistently play defense every night. And it's just coming down to the guys' personalities, who's the lead dogs on this team. And, Zach and DeMar, they're really not defenders, man. And you got Patrick Williams out there, but he can't do everything. You know what I mean? And This is what it's going to look like. You're going to get, they're not playing. It's like a unit. You can't play one-on-one on defense. You have to play team defense, and this looked like that we got exposed.
Excuse me, let me correct myself. It wasn't 38 points, it was 42 points. So you give up 39 points. So you give up 39 points in the second quarter, and then you turn around and you give up 42 points in the third quarter, man. Is it true what people are saying that Billy Donovan is losing the locker room? That could be. That could be exactly what's happening because it's ridiculous, man. This is terrible defense by the Chicago Bulls. You don't give up 39 points in the second quarter, and then you turn back around. You give up 42 points in the third quarter. That's unacceptable. We got to start talking about this team's defense as far as them not playing defense because when you do that, you're giving up 39 and 42 points. That means you're not playing defense. I don't give a damn how many points you're scoring. But the last overlay, of course, Bulls, 150 points. Like me and G Walker was telling you, that was the most points the Bulls gave up since 1982, and this is in regulation. This is not in overtime.
Yeah, 4 quarters, the straight regulation.
Right, man. This is crazy, man. I don't get it, man. Like you said, G Walker, Patrick Williams can't play everybody. The team has to play better defense as a team, but when you give it up 150 points, man, it's very, very terrible from there. So as I go to the next overlay, the Bulls fall 12 to 18. That was their record at this point, which means it's 30 games into the season. You're 12 and 18. G Walker, did you expect for the Bulls in 30 games to have a 12 and 18 record?
I can't even lie to you, man. I did not expect us to have a 12 and 18 record. Coming to the season, we thought we'll have Lonzo Ball. He didn't heal from last year, so coming to the season, you know what I mean. I thought we'll be a little bit better, not fall off too much with the point guards that we do have with Alex Caruso, Ayo DeSumo, even a rookie Dalen Terry, and that lack of point guard play at an elite level is hurting us, man. We need another captain on the perimeter with Patrick Williams as far as a defender, but we're not getting it because Zach and DeMar, they're not defenders. So we're kind of where I kind of thought we'd be, but I thought we would be at least 500, 17 and 18, 18, 18, 19 and 18, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, man. I definitely not expect for the Bulls to be 12 and 18. 12 and 18. Excuse me. At that point. As y'all can see from this game, 150 points. As you look at the field goals allowed, 57. I mean, as you look at this list, man, this is just bad. This just screams bad defense, and the Bulls got to get this fixed, man. This is not a good thing at all. This is terrible.
I mean, you have to take pride in your defense, man. You're a professional NBA player that get paid to do this, 150 points allowed, 57 field goals. Field goal percentage is 65.5%. 3 points, 23. They have a 53.5 3-point field goal percentage allowed, man. That means guys on the perimeter are not rotating and not sticking to the man on the perimeter for threes. These guys are just raining threes, just spotting up shooting.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. But let's get into some of these quotes that a couple of people had to say. First, let's get into the Stacey King quote that Stacey King said after this Minnesota Timberwolves game. He said you have to have some pride, man. You put that Chicago Bulls jersey on. It means something. It means something to a lot of people, not just the guys playing, but to the city. You owe it to them. Come out here, play hard every night. And that's what Stacey King had to say. G Walker, what you think about that statement by Stacey King?
I mean, that's basically the same thing I just said before you pulled it up. It's like you got to have a sense of pride. I mean, I know you can lose by 7. You can lose by 9 or 10. Guys, teams going to run at the end of quarters. But when you're losing pretty much by 24 points, that's a lack of effort as a professional. I mean, you should be ashamed that you even came out there and put up that type of effort with the amount of money you playing, with the type of work you put in to be in the NBA to get here. You know what I mean? Like, where's the pride, man? It can't just be offense. You know what I mean? I want to do me. I want to get my 25 and whatever, my 30 and all that. But you neglect your teammates. You don't help them, and you don't help on defense. So it's like, who are you playing for? Are you playing for yourself? Are you playing for the city? Are you playing for the fans? What is it? Because it's looking like it's selfish basketball out there, you know. So Stacey King was on point with this, you know.
Yeah, man, it just wasn't a good look at all. But let's get into this next overlay, which this is a Zach Lavine. G Walker, you pretty much pulled this up, man. It pretty much says Zach Lavine and the Chicago Bulls are not seeing eye to eye. There is a disconnect between the Bulls and Zach Lavine. G Walker, is there a disconnect between the Bulls and Zach Lavine?
That's a rumor out there, but the way I see it, there's no way that there's a disconnect between the Bulls and Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine has been paid as a max player. Zach Lavine had got players brought in to help him to win. You're the guy now. They put Vucevic around you. They put DeMar. They put Ayo. They put all these guys, and they treat you like a franchise player. The issue is what I've been saying for the longest is that it's DeMar and Zach, not the Chicago Bulls organization. They showed you that they respected you by paying you the max. So what is your problem? Is it ego? So I don't necessarily think it's the Bulls. I think it's more so him and DeMar, you know?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with everything you just said. As far as Zach Lavine, you can't be mad at the Bulls. They didn't pretty much did everything that they could do to put players around you, you know. But at the same time, you being the man there on that team, you gotta lead by example, because that fall to what you do on the court, that falls down to the young guys and how professional and how they're supposed to carry themselves. You're supposed to lead by the example. I mean, that's just how it is. When you got the best player on the team, that player leads by example, and that's what you have to do. I know that may seem a little bit unfair, but hey, when it comes to basketball, you being a leader, you have to lead by example. You have to lead your troops.
I agree, man. With everything that's been said, let's move on to this next overlay. The next game, it was Bulls versus Heat, man. What do you think about this game right here, man? We came off a bad loss and like we had a chance to redeem ourselves. So what do you think going into this game?
No Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo, of course Tyler Hero. Those are guys you got to worry about. Obviously, the Heat was going to be the Heat have been very interesting when they play the Bulls. They always seem to play the Bulls hard. They always seem to to be up and ready when they play the Chicago Bulls. So I thought it was going to be a tough game for the Bulls. That's what I thought.
You know, and we're going to proceed, and we're just going to get into these overlays that you put after this Heat game, man. Go ahead, proceed, my brother.
All right. So. We pretty much jumped at the end of the first quarter. The Bulls had a 10-21 lead. So, during this game, seemed okay. The Bulls hold the Heat to 21 points, which I didn't think that was going to happen. But they did that. It seemed like they came out focused, more determined to prove a point after that terrible game they had against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this was a pretty positive thing to see at the end of the first quarter, that the Bulls came out focused and they did put up 31 points, 31 points, and holding the Heat to 21.
Yeah, man, they came out the gate. Anytime your team can put up 31 points in the first quarter is always a good sign. That means they're passing the ball, shots are going in, offensive rebounds are probably happening, assists is probably happening, guys are running in transition. So this was a good quarter. This was a good start. So, let's see what else they do.
All right. Now, next overlay. Now this right here, this is at halftime. Seemed like the Bulls went backwards here a little bit.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again, man. The Bulls ended up scoring 21 points, and then we got Miami, pretty much putting over 35 points over 35 points in the quarter. So again, the Bulls defense at times is not being consistent. We don't care how many points you guys score. What we care about is you stopping teams. You still have to play defense in the NBA. I know the NBA now has let the game be wide open because everybody wants to shoot all these threes and everything, but you still have to play defense.
Yeah, you still got to play defense, man. You still got to give effort, and the NBA is all about ups and downs, teams making a run. It seems like at halftime, the Miami Heat made their run in the end of the second quarter,
Yeah, man, it seems like that's a trending thing. It seems like, when the Bulls get off to a good start, can they maintain, that going to going from the second quarter to the end of the game? We just want to see that consistency from them moving forward. But let's move on to the third quarter. Now the Bulls came out on a 12-0 run. So, and this was pretty much within the last 2 minutes, pretty much at the 9-minute mark that they went on this run in the third quarter. So for the Bulls to come out after that second quarter, after they had that kind of mesmerizing bad second quarter, they came out in the third quarter and they pretty much did what they're supposed to do in the third quarter. G Walker, talk to me, man. What you think about this?
I mean, this is how you want your team to respond. You know how they come out of the halftime down by 5 or 7, whatever it was. You just want them to respond. You know, on the road, you want them to be locked in. You want them to see that the game they played the night before, that they have a short memory. You know what I mean? That they can play as a unit, and they can come out and put their neck put their foot on the team's neck. So to see them up by 8, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the third quarter on the 12-0 run in the last 2 minutes, hey, that's perfect. That's what all you can ask for, you know.
Exactly. To the end of the third quarter, as you can see, the Bulls are up by 11, 88-77. So the Bulls are pretty much in a good position. They should be able to pull this game out in the fourth quarter. So let's move on to the fourth quarter. Now the Bulls. This is pretty much a defensive stat that they've had. Before this game, the Bulls have allowed 110 plus points in 9 straight games. This was the third longest streak in team history. We just talked about the defense, man. The Bulls, they have to play consistent when it comes to defense. They got to play
terrible, man.
Yeah, that's not good at all, man. But to give the Bulls credit, they did end up winning this game. Final score 113-103. So that 110 point streak, that pretty much was demolished. So, which is a good thing. G Walker, did you expect the Bulls to win this game?
You know what? I kind of did, man. Like, you know, Miami don't really scare me at this point. You know, the Bulls, you know, if they got any sense of pride, they would have came out with this game and showed better effort, man, and showed they could play. And they did. So I expected this win, man. I really did. And I'm glad we got it. You know what I'm saying? Get this momentum going. And, you know, it's enough talk about, you know, tension and all that stuff. So just focus on the court and good things that happen and the wins will happen. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy they got this win, man.
Man, oh, man. But, yeah, man, they ended up getting the win. But next, we got to talk about this next game, man, because this next team, man, they gave us a body blow the last time we played them, man, and that was the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. G Walker, going into this game, did you feel that, hey, we can beat Atlanta, or Atlanta just going to make it more tougher for the Bulls, man? And you see who's on that screen, man, Ayo. We're going to get to him in a little bit.
You know what, man? For some strange reason, I did, man. Sometimes teams go on a couple of win streaks, man. They go on win streak, they get 2 here, 3 there. And, you know, the stuff that the Chicago Bulls went through as far as their own cohesion and their own unity and their own accountability. And they, you know, I thought that once they lost that Minnesota game that they'll get their head out their ass. So coming to this game, yeah, I thought we could win. I definitely did.
Yeah, I definitely wanted the Bulls to see if they can pull this one out, because that last game that we had against Atlanta, that was heartbreaking, man. That was a game that we should have won for real. But going into the first overlay, as you can see, the Bulls went on a 7-0 run in the last 1 minute and 39 seconds. As you can see, the score is 16-7 in the first quarter. So that's a good start, man. That the Bulls pretty much holding Atlanta down, you know, within the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, holding them to 7 points. So I mean, that was a positive thing to see for them to do.
Yeah, man, coming out of the gate, ready to go. You know, 16-7, you know what I mean? And that's what you want. That's what you want to see. Again, on the road. So that's a good sign that they can play on the road. And if this is trend, I hope they're trending upwards and playing like this.
Exactly. Now, this was the part of the second quarter, because I didn't get the first quarter score, but at the end of the first quarter, the score was 30-25. So the Bulls was up by 5 points going into the second quarter, and then as y'all can see, in the part of the second quarter, the Bulls were up by 11 points. So the Bulls still kept the momentum going, which was good. They kept the Atlanta Hawks down, and hopefully they was able to contain that, you know, going into halftime. But at halftime, we see the score is 61-51. So at this point, the Bulls are up by 10. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident that the Bulls will be able to pull it away from this team, because we've been talking about it, G Walker. We want to see Bulls winning games by 15, 20 points. So we would think this will put the Bulls in that direction.
And that just goes back to what we were saying about, hey, man, you got to start trading up. You got to start, winning by 10, 12, 14 points. So, see them up by 10 at the end of the half, it's a very good sign. Their confidence should be up. You know what I mean? The coach should be telling them, hey, guys, we exactly what we got them. Just keep playing hard, keep playing aggressive, keep sharing the ball, and keep playing defense.
Right. But let's move on to the next overlay, which actually this
you knew it was a fight.
Huh? Yeah, this was a fight, but this was the score at the end of the third quarter, 81-77. So the Bulls were still up by 4. But let's move on to this fourth quarter, man, because this was a crazy one. So actually, we go all the way down to 37 seconds left. The Bulls were up by 2 at this point. So I'm like, man, here we go again. Is this gonna be one of those crazy tight game finishes? I don't know. G Walker, did this kind of make you nervous again, man?
It didn't make me nervous, but you still want to see what this team was made of. Are you guys going to close out a game? This is the NBA. Teams make runs. Trae Young is nice. You know what I mean? He's very manipulative with the ball. He can pick and roll. He can throw lobs. He can pull up for threes. He can pull up for mid-range, get to the free throw line. So he's orchestrating this whole game as a point guard. He's making every part of his team a part of his arsenal, and he was doing that. He threw 2 lobs. I forgot the kid's name, back to back. The Bulls couldn't stop it. Patrick Williams rotated late. So, this is a game. This is how it goes. But I'm expecting them to kind of show what they could do and close out a game regardless.
Right. All right, let's move on to the next one now. In this next overlay.
Whoa. Before we get to that, hold on. Before we get to that,
right.
I do want to talk a little bit more about that fourth quarter.
Okay,
this is the quarter that I saw that we was losing games, a lot of games this season, because we were missing too many shots.
Mm-hmm.
This fourth quarter, I saw Zach Lavine hit a big shot. I saw DeMar hit a big shot. I saw Patrick Williams hit a mid-range big shot.
Right.
Vucevic hit a big 3. So, that's the type of team they need to be. They need to hit shots down the stretch, man. And that was the first game I saw all season where everybody touched the ball in the fourth quarter. They were ready and they hit shots, man. Zach had it going in the fourth quarter. DeMar was too. So I was happy to see that everybody got involved, especially Patrick Williams, man. He got involved in the game, hit a mid-range shot. That's pretty good for his confidence. So love to see the Bulls pull through in the fourth quarter like this. Tight game. Everybody was involved. Everybody was scoring. Everybody was touching.
G Walker, that is a very, very good point. And those guys stepped it up. The big 3 is what people like to call them. They definitely were the big 3, but I think they have a fourth guy. To me, I think Patrick Williams is just doing what he's supposed to do, and he's hitting big shots in key moments. I've noticed that from him over the last couple games, that he's actually stepping up in key moments of the game where the Bulls need him to, offensively and defensively. So Patrick Williams may not be the star guy that y'all want him to be right now, but the way he's been playing, man, he's definitely been, to me, one of the most improved players on this team this year.
For sure, man. For sure. Let's keep it going, see?
All right, let's move on. Now, as y'all can see, Deja vu.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. As y'all can see. Now, your boy took this snapshot, man. And, man, I tried to get it as close as I could.
Hey, look at DeMar in the corner over there.
Yeah, DeMar, and that's funny. DeMar had his hands up before the ball even went through the hoop, man. That was crazy. So the Bulls ended up winning by 2 points off of an Ayo Dosunmu tip in, 110 to 108. Man, I know the people in Atlanta was stunned. They were sick.
It just happened to us last week. On a goofy inbounds play. So one lucky-ass play deserves another one. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that a guard was under the rim and he fought for that rebound and got it and put it right back up to close out a game, hey, man, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good, you know?
Right. Nah, in this overlay, man, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it was John Collins that was under Ayo. So after Ayo made that shot and fell down, John Collins was deliberately under him. So I don't know what was up with that, man, but man, the Bulls pretty much had this game. They let Atlanta come back into it. Then, as G Walker said, DeMar, Zach, Vooch, Patrick hit big shots down the stretch. And the Bulls was able to pull out this game in the last second, man. But the guy who did it was Ayo Dosunmu, man. So shout out to the Chicago Bulls for winning this game. We hope that they continue to just be on a positive note. Play team defense, get everybody involved, and let's start pulling out these wins. That's all I want to see.
Hey, man, and you know what? And I agree with everything you said, man. That's all you want to see. Just pull out tough games, man. It's 82 games in the season. The Bulls are not, world beaters. It's number 1, 2, 3 seeds. So these are the type of games that we're going to be in. So to see us getting the edge on these games was nice. But we're going to get into some stuff that transpired with that Timberwolves game that had everybody thinking that they might blow the Bulls up. There was a lot of fingers being pointed at Zach Lavine specifically. Mm-hmm. Because his lack of defense, they have veterans on this team that's been through Olympic games. Even Zach, you got DeRozan that's been around for years. You got Vooch that's been around for years. You got DeMar. The style of play between DeMar and everybody else and Zach is not mixing right now. So Zach is the odd man out, and so they had to pull him to the side. I guess they had to talk to him. But in the NBA, fights happen all the time. This is nothing new. It's normal. In the locker room, guys get at it. But let's get into some of these overlays. All right. It says that according to Darnell Mayberry and Shams, it says the Chicago Bulls have had multiple meetings. Zach Lavine and the Bulls are not meeting eye to eye. Increased skepticism with the locker room about Billy Donovan. Let's go to that last part. Skepticism about Billy Donovan. Give me something that will make that real, CJ, about the what would people be skeptical about Billy Donovan?
Well, it has to be, first of all, with minutes, players getting minutes. It also has to be with the offense that's being run. So it could be several things. Defensive strategies. It could be a lot of different things to where players are not seeing eye to eye of what's really going on. And I think what it really could be, G. Walker, is that they may be starting to see a little bit of favoritism towards a certain amount of players. And then when I heard that Zach Lavine got called out by several players, that just tells you that, hey, you're the number one guy on this team. You got to do more out there. It's been times where Zach Lavine has not stepped up and played team defense. It's been times where players blow right by, Ayo Dosunmu. Let's just speak on him. Ayo Dosunmu, it was players that blew right by him. Zach Lavine was right there. It didn't step up. It didn't help out. So he has to lead by example more defensively for him to be, to me, an all-around two-way player. He hasn't really done that consistently this season.
I totally agree, man. Everything you said is true, man. It's something I've been seeing all season from Zach pretty much his whole career. But now you're playing winning basketball or trying to. You were a playoff team last year. So before I get into Zach Lavine, I'm going to talk about Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan, the guy deserves skepticism, man, because he's been responsible for us losing a lot of these games, whether his poor rotations, his adjustments, his favoritism. So everybody's to blame, man. Everybody gets smoked, and going back to Zach Lavine, you're playing real basketball now, dude. And no matter where Zach Lavine goes, especially if you go to another contender, it's going to be the same thing. So who he is follows. Either you commit to the defensive side of the ball or be looked at as a one-dimensional player that just got paid. So it doesn't matter if Zach Lavine is to be traded. Is Zach Lavine going to be a defender on the help side when one of his teammates gets blown by, or is he going to guard his man? So it doesn't matter if Zach Lavine is traded from another team, because he's a max player and he's going to be traded to probably a contender. But we're going to step into another overlay. It says inside the code to Shams again, inside the Chicago Bulls concerning the dynamics, the franchise, and Zach Lavine are seeing eye to eye, and the organization's efforts to manage the on-court disconnect with Lavine and DeMar. CJ, we saw this last year. At least I did, that they don't always have the best chemistry. What do you think that DeMar and Zach Lavine bump heads about?
Well, again, it was times this season and times last season, but especially this season, that I've seen that DeMar DeRozan would have the ball on one side of the court, Zach Lavine be wide open, and DeMar don't pass him the ball. So, it was times where, and it seems like, G. Walker, what it is this person says, okay, I'm going to take this shot, and next you take this shot, You can't really play like that. You know what I mean? You have to get your other teammates involved. And when you got guys picking and choosing when they're going to take shots and not getting the teammates involved, guys not touching the ball, the offense not really flowing. It's pretty much a two-man game, but it's pretty much a jump shooting two-man game that's where a lot of the offense don't get into a flow and a rhythm because you got two guys picking and choosing when they're taking shots. So one of these guys have to sacrifice. And what I mean by that is you're gonna have to sacrifice what you used to do to play with your teammate. Which means that if Zach Lavine gotta if he's gotta start passing the ball more and to to DeMar DeRozan sweet spots, then that's gonna have to happen. Now with DeMar DeRozan, is he gonna have to start passing the ball more to get Zach Lavine open jump shots? Because when I notice Zach Lavine, when he catches the ball on the three and he shoots it, 9 out of 10 is going in instead of him forcing the three. So they have to start coming together and saying, hey, what can I do to make your game easier? What can you do to make my game easier? Because right now Lonzo Ball's not walking through that door. So they have to be the 2 point guards out there when it comes to them two being on the floor and also with the team.
That was well said, bro. Very, very, very good, man. Very well said. It's just going to come down to, like you said, them communicating because, somebody's going to have to sacrifice. And Zach is getting a lot of the heat because he's the one that's not seen as the most aggressive. Even though we all disagree that DeMar doesn't pass the ball to cutting people when he's supposed to. He's always late on assists. He doesn't always look for his teammates. DeMar is more aggressive.
Correct.
He's more aggressive, so the more aggressive guy gets the edge on who the team is going to rock with, who do you think is going to have your back in the foxhole when you're in the trenches. That's what it's coming down to. Despite a player having flaws, which they all do, DeMar is a little bit more aggressive than Zach Lavine, and that's what Zach Lavine is being exposed for, the lack of aggression consistently. No matter what we say about DeMar, he's always aggressive. Zach Lavine, I don't know. So that's what teammates have been seeing from him, and that's what he's getting exposed for, and that's what he needs to really, really nail down is his aggression and get better at that. But we're going to move into something else, so we can blame DeMar, we can blame Zach Lavine, but there's one person that we have to give smoke to, and that's Artonis AK. So we're going to get into this. So let's see who's really behind this losing. CJ, you said the only reason why the Bulls got DeMar DeRozan was because they were scared Zach Lavine was going to leave. So speak on that and tell the people and tell me how that's affecting the team by him being signed. And does that have any implication why certain players not developing Patrick Williams? Thank you. Proceed.
Okay. Well, look, y'all. We already know that with the whole Vucevic thing happening in the year, that same year, and then Patrick Williams, pretty much being there. So the whole thing was they were going to go with that. But again, Zach Lavine looked at it. I'm not going to say Zach Lavine, but I think with AK's looking at it is that he said, damn, we got to get a third guy in here because Patrick Williams is only a rookie. He may not be, it's going to take him probably a few years to get to where he needs to be. So, of course, there was a couple of names thrown out there, but DeMar DeRozan had ties to Vooch. So, hey, they got on the phone, they talk, Bulls talk with him, and boom, he's here. I think the reason why it's really been such a problem because when you got two alpha males, and DeMar DeRozan is really an alpha male because you look at him, he plays the aggressiveness that he plays with. He sticks up for his teammates. When he get a bad call, he gonna let you know about it. So DeMar DeRozan already showing those leader capabilities. The thing is with Zach is that they've been waiting for Zach to do this since he's been with the Bulls. Zach has been with the Bulls since 2007. I'm sorry, since 2017. So they've been waiting for Zach to play with this aggression. We have not seen it yet. And the thing is, it's too much talking going on and not enough action going on. So we don't know if this is all coming from Zach Lavine's camp, that he's been unhappy. It's too many times that your name has been in the papers. It's too many times that something is going on. So I don't know if it's people talking in his camp. I don't know if it's him just talking himself. But the disconnect is coming from is that DeMar DeRozan is getting to the foul line. He's playing aggressive. Zach Lavine's just sitting out there and just, trying to get his turn, trying to get his time in. But somebody got to sacrifice at the end of the day. And I just think with these two guys, if people question, was it going to work? It was NBA analysts that questioned that, was it going to work? I kind of questioned it a little bit when it happened. Was it going to work? Because they're kind of two of the same player, which I mean, they have, of course, Zach Lavine's a better 3-point shooter, but they're kind of, it's kind of within the same. So it was like none of these players really bring a big skill set that overmatches the other. Zach is more athletic. Okay, DeMar DeRozan has a mid-range game. So how is this going to really work going to the Bulls? You kind of still seeing that it's been a problem. So I can see why AK is being questioned because we really haven't seen a connection from these two guys. So every other player that they have on a team is not a disconnect with them. It's just these two guys got to get connected. They got to sit down and talk, man, and figure this out.
Man, well said, my brother. Well said. Because what I'm gonna say about it, that AK deserves smoke because his scouting, could have been a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's really the Zach and DeMar's responsibility. As much as we get on Zach, there's DeMar. He has issues too, as far as his selfishness. So, but what I saw the last couple of games, they slowed the game down, and DeMar actually set up the offense a little bit more, passed that ball around a little bit more, and guys were getting shots that weren't getting shots. The last 3 games, guys are getting more shots. It's like, DeMar, you have to slow down and pass the ball around to get your teammates ready to help you win a game at the end of a game. Pass it early, so when you pass it late, guys can be warmed up enough to make shots. That's DeMar's biggest downfall. Right. But as far as AK getting blamed, yeah, he deserves blame, man, because, these guys are pretty much the same player, and DeMar comes with a lot of bad habits. That's why he was traded from Toronto. So at the end of the day, though, if he really wants to succeed, just like Zach Lavine, who you are is going to travel no matter where you go. So you might as well fix it here and be the best player you can. So DeMar slowing it down, passing the ball a couple times, keeping his teammates involved in the game, that's going to help the Bulls tremendously. Zach Lavine playing both ends of the court, rotate when he needs to. When one of his teammates get beat, that's going to help the team tremendously. So them two guys on the wing got to be the lead dogs, man, no matter how you slice it. So I think the Bulls play we play the Knicks tonight, round 3.
Correct.
And hopefully we can beat them. Unless we covered everything, man, and I hope we can keep this trend going. We win 3 in a row. But that's it for me, CJ. Unless you got anything you want to talk about before that, after that we're gonna do this outro video.
Man, that is it for me. Y'all have a Merry Christmas with your family, and man, we'll see y'all back here on next Friday, man. Take care.
We'll see you guys next Friday. Hopefully we got more good news, and hopefully we got more wins, man. God bless y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Peace. Yo. What's up, everybody? This is G.